This is Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story featuring Tom Bowman and Tom Bradley. Now, crack one open and let the tour begin.
I'm just kind of hitting the drums there a little bit. You like that?
So you reminded me of the new Progressive commercial where they talk about, it's a really great house, got an animal in the attic. And it's Animal from the Muppet Show in their attic, and he's playing drums.
Very good. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's new.
I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that one. Did I remind you of Animal then? Because, I mean, that's pretty
you had
good.
a little going on.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the drums? I know you played the trombone, although you won't play the trombone for us now on the show.
I have played the drums casually. I can play the drums. I actually am thinking about putting a drum set down in the basement.
Will you go acoustic or will you go with a digital set?
No. I'll go old school.
I want a digital set, man. Plug in and then just go.
I want to bother my neighbors.
You really do, don't you?
Yeah.
You ever played the cowbell? Played the cowbell.
Well, everybody needs more cowbell. No, but I did play the what is the ribbed fish? So I have done that. I have played the whatever they call that, but it's the ribbed fish, basically.
You don't think that sounds a little dirty? I played the ribbed fish. I bet you do.
I'm just saying.
You know, the ribbed fish for his pleasure. And you hear what I'm saying?
And you're welcome.
And yeah, I played a cowbell once on stage, and they called me over
in a play. That's a horrible part to get in a play.
Not in a play.
Tree number 3, and I was the cowbell.
No, I went over. They said there was the band's playing, and I got to sit in with the band. And they're like, "Tom, come on, jam with it." He's like leaning over. He's on the bass. He's like, "Come on!" And I'm like, "With what?" He goes, "Grab a drumstick." I'm like, "Okay." So there's like a supply of them. So I grab a drumstick, and he points to the cowbell. So I pick it up. I'm like, "Dunk, dunk, dunk, punk," and I broke the freaking stick. I mean, I was excited. I was living the life of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I broke it, and my career was over right then. He's like, "Get off the stage."
Do you think that the cowbell
Yes.
is more manly than if they would have given you a tambourine?
Yes. Yeah. Now, let me hold on a second. I don't want guys who have rocked the tambourine to have an issue with this.
I mean, there have been.
And that's
Mick Jagger has rocked a tambourine.
If you can rock the tambourine and maintain your super macho status.
But it has to be one of those half ones. It's not the full circle tambourine like you would have at like Sunday school.
Yeah.
It's like it's a half one, and it's like made out of some hybrid material, and it's cut in.
What song were you doing? Like, Jesus loves me.
Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
And then they hit me with holy water and kicked me out of the Catholic Church.
I don't know that the half ones existed when I was young. When I saw them later in life, I was like, good God, man, who invented this?
Like if you went on
this
if you went to GuitarCenter.com
Yeah.
and you searched tambourines, you'd probably see like this carbon fiber made out of a special skin, guaranteed not to break. Yeah.
Honest to God, I think I shook and played a tambourine like once in my life.
Yeah.
We were somewhere, and they're like, I wasn't on stage. The only one on stage I ever had was the cowbell. But the tambourine, I hit it like a couple times on my hip, and I'm like, that hurts like hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are you supposed to hit the thing? Like right on your ass?
No, on the base of your palm, right here.
Well, yeah, but you go like, but then you got to go. Then you got to go to your ass.
Yeah. If you're a chick.
But I was hitting like my thigh bone or my.
Well, that's
hip
why
or something.
chicks do it, because they got a hip right there, and it's got a curve.
They
and
got
it's
little
like,
curves, and it works on there.
Yeah.
Does it sound? Do the acoustics sound different for a tambourine coming off a woman's curvy ass?
Of course.
So a woman's curvy ass is like, and a guy's piece of crap has like, just like that.
It's just magical.
Yeah. I've always said women's asses are magical.
Well, it's a pretty good start considering we took a week off, man. That's what we came up with.
We have a lot to.
Do you think the original SNL cowbell skit started with a tambourine? And they went through dress, and they're like, I need more tambourine.
I don't know. I don't know where that thing came from. I think they're making fun of cowbells, and they picked out the best song for cowbells because when it breaks down like 4 times during the song and it goes back to the opening, every single time it's only the guitar and the cowbell, and it starts at the beginning, and then it does the 3 different break times during it, and it's like it's a perfect song for that.
I think whoever was kind of in charge of Blue Oyster Cult, pretty sure it was like their untalented cousin. He was responsible for this cousin. He's like, shit, he's got to be in the band. What are we going to do? I don't know, give him a
Because Aunt Marcy said he has to be in.
I mean, you know, when Aunt Marcy says, keep an eye on your cousin.
And somebody with BOC is like, fuck Aunt Marcy. I'm so fucking sick and tired of
And then the
Aunt
drummer
Marcy
goes,
shit."
already did. Carry on.
And then you're like, Marcy put the sex in sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's right.
Okay, yes, we took a week off, and we desperately needed it. That doesn't mean that you and I have been skating for the last week.
God, no.
We've had a lot of crap going on.
What have you been doing for a week?
Skating, but a lot of crap going on, and I mean, and it's good crap.
Yeah.
It's just that we've been very, very busy, so we took a week off. Can we go back to the week before when we had the old 77s on with us?
How great was that?
That show was out of control.
It was. And I've heard, you know, those guys work in my office. So
Yeah.
the two that were on, Scott and Matt, work, in all disclosure, they work for me, technically. So I see him in the office every day. And Big Perm, who didn't show up that day because he had another job, we didn't see him. He runs stuff for me, part-time. We've been talking about it. They picked up subscribers. And they're crediting us for them getting some new subscribers.
Yeah, it was our subscribers. They left us. And
Yeah, they
went
said, oh,
the old 77s.
This one's way better.
all the way through.
This one's way better.
So let's talk about a couple things with beer, just very quickly. We're going to
Please.
have a bear hunter. A bear hunter.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm traveling with Golick and Kate Scott.
Yeah.
And we talk about this thing from time to time. And I'm like, hey, this week I think we're going to have a bear hunter. To which the question was asked, you mean somebody who goes out to those kind of bars and looks for a specific type of dude?
Is that something?
Yeah, a bear.
You're making this up.
No, in that community, there is such thing as a bear. It's a big, burly, kind of barrel chest.
And he doesn't give himself a Brazilian. He lets it grow.
I would be a bear. If I decided to go that way, I would be considered a bear. But that's not what we're talking about.
Does that help you maybe make up your mind of whether you'll go that way or not?
Oh, God, no. I know which way I'm going.
Okay. All right.
I've already decided that a long time ago.
Okay, bear.
I think I was 11 when I decided which way I was going to go.
Okay, so we've had the bear trapper on.
That's right.
This is going to be the bear hunter, and it's a whole different reason for pursuing these bears.
Well, and I was reading about it today. I mean, in our state, this is new, and we're going to talk about the lottery system of being able to even go do this.
Right.
And all the rules around it. That's a good spot right there. I'd get that spot right there.
We're cleaning up on the floor next to us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, that
Remind
begs
you,
something
tell
else.
people where we are.
We're at Mid-America Harley-Davidson in Columbia, Missouri, and so this is our main Harley-Davidson shop.
This is our mothership.
It's our mothership.
This is
our
where
home.
you've gotten 2 bikes from here.
Yeah. Well, so
I
have you.
also have gotten 2 bikes from here.
And
Look over my shoulder if you're watching it on Facebook and YouTube. Look at that.
you see all the bikes.
Look at this.
And God willing, and Creek Don't Rise, we'll wind up having a third from Mid-America Harley-Davidson someday.
Yeah, someday.
Someday.
All right,
So-
so while you're doing that housekeeping, let me do my housekeeping
Okay.
real quick, which is if you're watching this on Facebook, that's great. Make sure you hit follow on the Facebook page. That's how you get reminded of new episodes.
Right.
On YouTube, hit subscribe. Once again, that's how you get reminded. And then the next day, so this is Wednesday, on Thursday it comes out as an audio-only podcast version, which you can get 2 ways now. Let me give you this new bit of news. So everywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotter, Stitchify, iHeart, all that stuff,
Yeah.
you can get us on Thursday mornings when you get up. You know where else you can get our podcast now?
Where?
Right here on the Facebook page that people are watching right now. It literally pulls the audio version of our show in as a post automatically.
So it's almost like you don't have an excuse.
There's no excuse.
You're going to get the podcast whether you like it or not.
You're going to get us whether you like it or not.
Someday.
And we've been off for a week, and we're just revving to go.
Someday, through all these wonderful digital means,
Yeah.
we'll release a new podcast, and it'll get shoved up your ass first thing on Thursday morning.
Tomsville Beer Tour, the suppository that keeps on giving.
Yes. Suppository 5.
So do you
it's
think,
going to be there.
Do you think
it's going to happen.
It'll be Apple, and it'll be a little capsule, and it'll be bright white, because that's everything Apple is bright white with that shiny plastic, and they'll just implant it.
It'll go into the...
And then it'll go through your bones, and it'll use your skull as a speaker, and inside
it'll
your
come
ear
out your ear.
cavity. Oh, how great will that be?
And then after you're finished, you'll release it. You know what? I like this technology, and I think we should work on that. In the meantime, we're having some beers right now, and you can go ahead. These are just some tailgaters.
These are tailgaters. This is a good tailgater. You brought tailgaters. This is Big Sky Brewing, Montana, USA.
Yeah.
We make water fun. It's their Space Goat Pale Ale, which I love.
Yeah, and it's a I meant to give you an IPA. I gave you the pale ale.
No, I'll take it.
I've got an IPA also I can give
It's
you
a
later.
beer. I can drink it.
The brewer, that's why I brought that up. The brewer important as to the beer we're going to have today with the Bear Hunter. The Bear Hunter. and
Yeah.
I can't share it with you yet. It'll be
Okay.
coming up in a few moments. Before we get and bring J-Mac in, the bear hunter, tell me just a little bit quickly about your travels with Mike Golick and
Kate Scott.
And Kate Scott, and the beer. Tell me about the beer you're having in different places.
So here's what happens. We go out to some college town on Fridays. In fact, this week I'm flying out Friday morning to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh,
We're going to
Knoxville.
be at Rocky Top with number 13 Ole Miss coming in. Last week, how about this? Number 3 Iowa, number 4 Penn State. I was at that game. We called that game. Watched the fans rush the field after that game.
Of course you did.
And now Iowa's ranked, second. And Cincinnati is
so
third.
It was 3-4.
Don't tell,
Yeah, we don't tell him.
pissy in the back.
It was number 3-4 and 3-1.
And 3-1.
But it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, Penn State's quarterback went down. So anyways, when we travel, we have a system, right? The 3 of us, we do dinner on Friday night at some great local joint, preferably a place that has beer because Golick loves beer. Golick works out 5 and 6 days a week at Orange Theory so that he can eat and drink. That's his only motivation, and so that's what he does. So we sit down wherever we go, and he always says, give me a beer, make it local, doesn't care what type, what variety, local. He's like you in a way. He likes to go around.
Well, there's a reality. I mean, if you live in Arizona, you're not going to be able to have the same selection you find in Wisconsin, and you can't find that same selection in New York. It's just the way that it goes. And so you will get to the point you're like, when I travel around, it's like, look, you can go to McDonald's in every city if you want to, but you would rather go to a local place that you've read about, you've learned about, and you've been salivating about.
There's 3 things as the producer of College Football Saturday Night, which you can get on the free Varsity Network app.
Which
Let's not forget about
which
that.
I have.
And it sounds amazing. We're having a great time, as well as Facebook and YouTube, College Football Saturday Night. You can watch us in the booth. I have to do a couple things. One, I have to prep. I have to make sure we have all of our credentials and the tech and all that stuff. Do we have an engineer who flies in, all that fun stuff? That's fine. I have to find a dinner spot on Friday. I have to find a breakfast joint for Saturday morning because the 3 of us go to breakfast together. And then I have to find a local donut shop because in the post game, our award is the sweet player of the game, which is really just an excuse for us to have donuts in the post game.
And at that time, you guys break out the donuts.
Oh, my God. This week, I didn't go local as much as it was a local franchisor, Hertz Donuts. Remember Hertz Donuts?
I've never heard of Hertz
They were
Donuts
here.
in my
Remember
life.
Soul Taco that was in town?
Yeah.
And Hertz Donuts was paired with them. And then when Soul Taco went down, Hertz's logo was like the cool tattooed fingers, and it says Hertz Donuts on it.
All right.
This is like a donut that has like Fruit Loops on top.
Yeah.
And there was a mint chocolate chip donut. And there was a key lime pie donut. I mean, these are like meals of donuts.
I would have gone for the key lime pie.
So I did. So I don't normally eat the donut in the post-game show. So I got a key lime pie donut. You and I are the same. We love key lime pie.
Absolutely.
So we do the post-game show. They eat the donuts. Kate has one. Mike has one. They don't touch the key lime. We're done. We sign off the air. We're saying a couple things. I turn around, and my engineer is like, hey, man, these donuts are great. And as I turn around, slowly I see him with the key lime pie donut.
Did you stop him?
No,
There was no stopping
No, I couldn't. It's Danny Robotham. I love Danny.
Can
no,
you cut it in half? Can you save a bit
He'd
of
already
it?
taken a bite. You know what I did? I did no donut.
That just
Sans donut. How about that?
freaking sucks. That just
Your
frickin'
mic's
sucks.
not on yet. Calm down there,
It
Bear
just
Hunter.
freaking sucks all the way through. All right, we're going to bring up, remember, Big Sky Brewing out of Montana. The reason you're drinking a beer from there is you're going to find out why you're drinking something from Big Sky.
I like Big Sky. I have
Just a
Montana and
moment.
Montana State. Fine Learfield schools.
All right, we have our conversational beer music that's running right now, and that means it's time to bring up our guest's mic as well.
Oh, I guess that means I got to bring him up on camera now, too,
Should
don't I?
probably do that as well. He's been listening with his headset, but now we actually have his mic live.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bear Hunter from Mid-America Harley Davidson. It's J-Mac. J-Mac, welcome to Tom's
I
World
can't
Beer
see him.
Tour.
He's wearing camouflage. He's not showing up in the camera.
You're getting ready for season. That's why you're wearing that, aren't you?
I am ready for season, absolutely.
That
Thanks
is
for
awesome.
coming out here since I couldn't get to
Hey,
you guys.
This is the best.
You didn't want to come to my house with all the bourbon, dude. That would have been awful.
You would have hated that.
There's bourbon here.
Oh, I know.
I'll bet there is.
I am aware.
I want to get to the beers before too long. I know we've got some tailgaters going, but let me work on these beers. Now, this was a lot, and I want to tell you something. Trying to find a beer that would fit in with bear hunting was a little more difficult than you can imagine. And maybe you can stroll into your store in Florida or in Minnesota and you find something there. That's fine. What I was looking at today, I had a few choices. I did a search online, and I found hams. I said beer.
Ham's
bear.
the beer refreshing. Ham's the beer refreshing. Hams.
That's the jingle, and there was a bear.
Yeah.
And I almost brought hams.
Hams. When
Beer.
drinking the best means nothing. Hams. That was the original slogan. They didn't go with it.
They really don't.
Thank you for finding something else.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I went. I was really, really close to another beer, but it was nearby, and we have so many that are nearby, and so I wanted to reach out, and that's when I went to Big Sky Brewing.
Big Sky Brewing.
And I knew that the beer had to have a couple things going for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a bear on the can.
Well, yeah, duh.
And so I found that with Summer Honey.
Is
the
that a
seasonal,
bear in a 1920s bathing outfit?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Wow.
You don't see that every day.
No, you don't.
No. Well,
you don't.
first of all, you don't see bears in swimsuits, period, let alone a 1920s era.
Yeah,
bathing
I'd probably put them in some kind of
outfit.
80s jams, but that's fine.
Maybe a tutu.
And this is called Summer Honey, and on the back it says, "Loaded for bear."
Look at that. But yet it has a skull, a cow skull on the front. Or
I think cows like killing and eating
Bears?
so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Something like that. Let me pass these around to you
All right.
guys.
Well, let me finish my tailgater real quick.
No,
here.
don't finish that.
No, I'm
Just
gonna
put
finish
that
it.
off a little bit. You can. You're going to pound
No,
it.
it's gone.
That's fine. Here you go. With
Thank
the,
you.
Now this is Summer Honey, and they go for the bear as
Summer honey,
Not-
drinking the bear.
not in hibernation. It's out there doing its thing in the mountains of Montana. Big Sky Brewing.
Oh, same-
Loaded for bear.
Oh, same company. Oh, I see. All right. Good.
Right. Cheers. Here's
Cheers.
to bear hunting. Here's to a
Cheers.
successful
Absolutely.
hunt. All right?
That's right.
Awesome.
You know that we can never, ever officially hunt mics. You can never do that.
Hunt mics.
Yeah, because it would be called a mic hunt.
Okay. Did you work on that for a while?
He's been saying
no.
You were out in the
Absolutely
car
not.
today, and you're like,
No, but I will tell
I
you
can't
this.
wait to
The
bring
reason
this
that
one
joke
up.
is always in my head is I grew up with a bunch of friends, and one of them was my friend Mary, and her last name was Hunt, and she was an only child. And we were in like 5th, 6th,
What
7th
about your
grade.
brother Mike?
Hey, where's your brother Mike? And she never got it until like high school, and then she was pissed. So.
I don't think you guys got it from Mary ever, by the way. I think you ruined
No,
your
Mary's very
chances on it.
attractive. I mean,
I know, but you never got it.
Oh,
Am I
God.
right?
Oh yeah, no,
See?
no,
That's what I'm
not
talking
Mary
about.
or Mike. No Hunt.
J-Mac, you have filed for a permit to bear hunt in your state. It's never happened before. There have never been permits to hunt bear in your state, ever. So it was a lottery, and I'll be damned if you and a friend both won the lottery, and you're going bear hunting, what, next week?
we leave Sunday.
Right, because it's the
Jeez.
18th to the 27th, right?
I don't think it'll last that long.
Yeah. See, look, I actually looked it up.
What do you mean you don't think it'll last that long?
So there's 3 different zones. There's Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3.
Right.
400 tags total between all 3 zones.
Right. So there's 200 in Zone,
Zone
1,
one,
150 in Zone 2,
50 in Zone 3.
50 in Zone 3.
Zone I drew Zone 3, so did Brody.
Right. Oh, so you're in Zone 3. So
Yeah.
permit quota. So there's only 50 of you in Zone 3, and a quota of 5 bears.
5.
So that means out of the 50 of you, once 5 bears are done, you guys all have to go home?
You have to call in every morning to see if you can hunt.
It's like being on jury duty.
It is.
You have to call in every day and go, am I on bear hunting duty
I mean,
today?
you're going to have yourself, like, keyed up, days off,
Yeah.
completely outfitted, which we're going to talk about your outfitting and somebody that reached in and took care of you very soon.
Do you wear like a ratty bear suit? Because that's my favorite thing on the planet is a ratty bear suit.
And so you're ready to go, man.
Yeah.
And you're calling it at what time? 5 a.m.?
You can call in any time after 12:30 at night for the next day.
What time do you think you'll call in?
12:31.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'll call in right then.
Will you set your alarm and wake up to call in right then?
Yeah, I doubt I sleep much on Sunday. I've hunted a lot. I'm pretty excited about this one, though.
Right.
Just because it's the first.
So on the 18th, you guys all get to go out. All 50 of you get to go to this zone,
Everybody, yeah.
right? Because that's first day.
And it's a third of the state. I mean, if you look at the zone, it's
Yeah,
massive.
it's pretty big. But if 5 bears are taken down that day,
It's done.
you're done. Doesn't matter if it's, whatever.
The closest thing to it that I've seen is the Montana Unlimited Sheep Hunt. So the Unlimited Sheep Hunt, you can have, everyone can buy a tag. Everyone in the world can buy a tag. It's available inside and outside of the country. It's about $1,000 to buy the tag for a non-resident. Only 2 sheep can be killed out of the unit.
Wow.
Most years it goes unfilled. It's the hardest country.
How many people will pay the $1,000 for the chance?
Several hundred.
What a money-making
Whereas
casino
this
that
one is not. The original permit to apply was $10.
$10.
And then if you were picked, it's only $25.
$25.
So your total investment, whether you get a bear or not, is only $35.
And
That's like one round of drinks
Yeah,
at the bar.
but that's
I didn't expect to even get drawn. I was just, I'm a conservationist, so I would have donated just for the
you're happy to
donation.
do that. But I mean,
Right.
you've invested in other places though that have, like beyond you can't measure.
No.
And your wife's not listening, so we won't talk about.
She
those.
might be listening, but she's pretty much gotten used to it now.
Well, this
So,
isn't live, so you have time to prepare her.
Yeah, you do.
It's,
This is wild. And by the way, you have to be a resident of your state in order to hunt the bear.
yes,
Nobody outside the state.
for the first
First
right now.
year, and we don't know
Right.
when it'll change up from that.
And this came up because when we were talking to Justin, the bear trapper,
yeah,
all of a sudden we have this plethora of black bear now,
right.
right? So that's the whole reason, because we've never had permits for hunting black bear in the state of Missouri.
J-Mac, have you always lived in Missouri?
Yes, my entire life.
So, and you've always been a conservationist,
Absolutely.
hunter, fisherman, outdoorsman. One of the things that we need is something like black bear. If the population is coming back to anything reasonable, you've got to get the state behind it in
Right.
managing and harvesting.
It's a very managed. I mean, if you have to look at it, only 40 bear are going to be taken out of the state.
Yeah.
So 40 out of 400 tags. So it's 10% quota. If MDC is correct in their estimations of 900 to 1,100 bears, that's really not a lot. They're growing at a 10%, 9-point-something% rate right now. So we're not even going to touch. I know you went through and you read a bunch, but we went to a class in Springfield. We cannot take a bear if it's with another bear.
Right, I read that.
So you have to be very careful on what you're doing. They're not
So
taking
it's-
breeding
it's-
populations.
Now, what if you have a bear in your sights and 15 yards away is another bear and you can't see that in your sights? I mean, is there a little bit of leeway?
It's based on hunter's ethic. I mean, you are supposed to do your due diligence to make sure that it's not there.
I mean, if one bear's taking a shit in the woods to see if it sticks to his fur, then the other one's out there by himself. See how I worked that in there?
I know you did. Are you going to go to the rabbit joke? Which is not the rabbit scrotum story. We've never given the rabbit scrotum
Dude,
story.
we've done 37 episodes and have yet to hear the rabbit
Everybody
scrotum
wants
story.
to hear it. It's got to be the right timing.
I know.
We're talking about bears today and not rabbit scrotums. So it is, you mentioned hunter's ethics, and so when you look out there, if you see two bear, you're just going to set your rifle down and be like, this ain't going to happen.
I'll take a lot of pictures.
Yeah. Will you have an actual camera with you or just your phone?
I normally hunt with a small 1080p Sony camera.
Okay.
I did not bring it this time because I'm pretty focused on what I'm going to do. And with the new cell phone I got, I mean, it's got 100 times zoom. And
Right.
Yeah.
it's crazy. So
Now, the 18th is what? When is the 18th?
Monday.
Monday. All right, so Monday at what time? 5 a.m.
yeah, I'll be there before daylight.
So where is the Zone 3 is how far from here?
As soon as you cross the river into Jeff City. That's where it
Oh,
starts.
30 miles.
That's very convenient.
Yeah.
But you're staying in zone 3, right?
I'm staying in Zone 3.
Yeah, you got to be ready
You
to
and
walk
49
out.
other people. Well, I guess a buddy
so
and
you
48.
call up some of your trail cams and other stuff you've got going
That's the zones.
so that Tom Bowman can see it, because you guys have scouted some areas and you've seen bear there.
Yeah.
So let
A
me
lot.
figure this out. So Zone 1 has the most amount of permits, but it's the smallest amount of space.
it's the highest population.
all right.
The bears are coming from Arkansas.
Right.
The Arkansas
there's
bear
For
population.
those of you that want to see, there you go. See at the very bottom there? That's the smallest area, the most amount of permits. So I guess you're right. It's condensed down there, right?
If you look at a tree coverage map
Okay.
and you're looking at from satellite view where the tree is, you will follow from where MDC has tracked bear, you will see they just follow the tree line. They do not want to be out in the open. They want to be in the woods. They are very...
Until they get weirded out and start getting into trash cans and loving what humans have available.
It's a fed bear is a dead bear, they say.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and we talked about this with Justin. Columbia, Missouri, where we are, compared to where his zone starts, is a good 35 miles south.
Yeah.
That's where the top of his zone starts. There are bears here where we live showing up in people's backyard cameras.
There was one in Ashland. Don't show these, but you can flip through them.
Yeah, so we've had them in Ashland, which is about 13 miles
Wow, did the
south
bear
of here.
consent to these pictures?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I know.
Geez,
See what I'm talking
a little
about?
racy there.
And so we do have them moving into the area, and it's exciting,
Wow.
and it can be scary for some people, and it also opens up hunting, and so that's what we've got this
Dude,
first year.
These things are big, dude.
I know.
I mean, I know they're not grizzly bears, but these are, they're
But
bears.
you want the, do you call it a bull? What do you call it?
Boar.
A boar. And a sow?
Sow.
Whoa,
boar and a
what?
sow.
What, we couldn't come up with original names? Don't we already have that for hogs?
Well, you do what you have to do.
I'm not going to go check.
We're so unoriginal.
You want a boar, though, and you want the big boy.
I'm going to take the first legal bear that I see.
Yes, but you want the
Oh, yeah.
biggest one possible.
If I decide to go to Montana next year, if I'm not successful this fall, I'm going to Montana and hunting black bear next year.
All right, so as a city mouse, and we have said this before,
Yeah.
guy from Southern California, from Los Angeles, we don't hunt bears down there. There's bars where you can find bears. Once again, that's where the confusion comes from. My question is this. So you go out and you're going to – and I agree with the conservation. There's no doubt that we have to, in a very careful way, take care of the population of these bears and all, the hogs and all these other things, so they'll take over, right? Which is a great SNL skit, by the way, Bear City. It's from the 70s, like the late 70s, Bear
I'll have
City.
to go see that one.
It's the best. They rounded up every ratty bear suit they could find to staff out this video. I'll show it to you later. My question is this. So you shoot, let's say you get the ultimate, right? The big.
In Missouri, that would be a 350-pound bear.
So you get a 350-pound bear. So here's my question. You're out there with your buddy, and you shoot a 350-pound bear. First of all, one, how are you going to get that bear back to said truck that you have? And two, what are your steps with the bear? Because a lot of people, you go and hunt deer, and you clean the deer, and you either donate it to some place that's going to go ahead and take the meat and all of that, which is great. What do you do with a bear after you?
I'm going to eat it.
Okay.
He's going to eat
But
the bear.
you're going to drag a 350. I mean, you should, but I mean, you're going to have to drag this bear out.
It depends. So I'm set up with a 500-pound deer cart, so I could roll it. Of course, you field dress it before you leave.
Right.
One of the rules that you cannot remove the gallbladder. You cannot transport the gallbladder from the site of the kill. You're not allowed to be in possession of it.
Why?
Why?
There's supposedly a black market for it, so we cannot be in possession
So
of
you're
the
going to bury it and have a ceremony
It
out
has
in the
to
woods?
stay in the gut pile.
What the hell does somebody want with a black bear's
Supposedly
gallbladder?
some Chinese.
Oh,
like
for
black
the
market.
love of God. Yeah. What are they going to do, mince this thing up?
No,
put
they
in
treat it like a
stew?
Capri Sun, and they put a straw in it. And
So you have to leave that. Depending on how far back I am, you just quarter it, game bag it, cool it off, and then backpack it out.
So you
backpack it
you
out.
do. So you
Yeah.
want the
Holy
skin.
crap.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to make a bear rug.
I'll have it in a rug.
And that's going
With the head attached.
Yeah,
And is that going on the floor or on the wall?
the floor.
Oh my God, this is so cool. But
And then we're going to smoke one of the hams here.
and you're gonna feed me.
Yeah, you're coming over.
Oh, I'm coming.
I want some
I'm
bear.
In. I'm in.
I feel like this is something from like Dancing with Wolves. Like you eat a piece and now you are part of.
I feel
the
like if you're
environment.
out there, if you can't take the gallbladder with you and you know there's a black market for it, you got to at least take a bite or something. For
Oh
God's sakes.
God. I mean, seriously, what the hell do they want with a gallbladder?
So there was a thing that it was with the buffalo hide hunters. They
Okay.
would eat raw buffalo liver with gall, the fluid from the gallbladder, onto it.
For
So
what reason?
I watched a show that they liked the taste, and they said that
Oh, just sprinkle a little of that
the
gallbladder on it.
guy that did it, Steven Ranella, he said it tasted exactly like putting your tongue on a 9-volt battery.
Oh God.
Well, that's attractive.
Yeah, I
I don't
know.
want to go back to that at all.
Tell me you wouldn't try it though.
If somebody said, "Come on, you got to try
Of
this."
course,
thing.
I put my tongue on a
Absolutely.
9-volt battery. I'm a man.
I've done
Of
it.
course I
We've all done it. This hurts and stings. Here, you do it. And then you go.
Ooh,
okay.
this is bad milk. You taste it.
And
Of
then
course
you,
I will.
And then you do it.
This smells terrible.
So
Listen, there are rules in this world. There are 3 rules. 1, if somebody offers you up bad milk, you have to taste it. 2, if you catch a foul ball, you must give it to the nearest child.
Absolutely.
And I forgot what the third one is.
you got to put your tongue on a 9-volt
That's
battery.
exactly what it is.
So you're going to skin it.
Oh, you have to. If a child gives you a fake telephone, you have to answer it. That's
right.
the third one.
The only reason you have to skin it on the spot,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise you're carrying the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's a big boar black bear, and you skin it. Just carrying the skin alone is going to be like what, 50 pounds?
You normally will, when you're doing any animal, it's a third, a third, a third. So you lose a third of the bear would be, a third of the animal would be meat, a third of the animal would be guts, a third of the animal would be hide and bones.
Yeah.
So if you look at a third, a third, a third. So I'll have 100 pounds of meat, probably 50 pounds of it doesn't matter.
Skin and fur
I better
or
get it
whatever.
out.
All right.
You're going to get it out.
I promise you it's coming out.
It's coming out.
I got the gallbladder answer. You ready?
Yeah, yeah.
The bear gallbladders have a very high concentration of what's called unsodeoxycholic acid in their gallbladders, particularly in the winter. So there's one reason why bear gallbladders are so expensive. They have serious medicinal properties which make them inherently valuable.
So it's something real. It's something that you can't find elsewhere in nature. It's not just a belief that the bear will make you live forever or something.
I mean, MDC had a 20-minute section on why we cannot take it when we went to class.
They didn't say you couldn't eat it in the field.
They did not say that.
Will you do that?
No.
Will you eat any part of it raw?
No.
No, why
You
would
can't.
you?
You have to cook it to at least 155.
I would, but
No. No.
they eat the heart.
No, they're black bear. So trichinosis,
Yeah.
They
worms,
can carry that.
Yeah.
the most cases in the U.S. are from black bear.
So will you?
So you got to be careful then with gloves on.
You and it has to be cooked.
So
to
will
one-
you smoke the ham? Will you grill the ham?
I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna smoke a ham.
Dude, I'm excited for this.
Will you put barbecue sauce?
No.
Seasoning.
Yes, probably.
At least garlic, salt, and black pepper, right? Okay.
Black bear,
All right.
black pepper. Come on, dude.
I
Don't
want
you
some
know how
black
that
pepper.
works?
Don't put white pepper on a black bear. What are
Black,
you doing there?
black bear pepper.
I actually thought about doing a bone-out ham and then wrap any of the netting, using one of the funnels and pushing it through.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm doing that. That way
look at you.
can put some layers inside of it, a little flavoring.
And this is something that J-Mac and I have talked about. He has an appreciation for food, for barbecue, for smoking, for meat.
Well, that's why we like him.
But there are a lot of people that would want to go out and get the bear just for sport, and they don't know what to do with the food, with the meat.
Mm-hmm.
But you want the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be gamey and tough, right? It's a big, muscular animal.
No. I haven't had it personally,
Right.
but it is supposed to be amazing meat. So.
Tell us about the value of bear meat back in the day compared to the value of deer meat.
It was worth $10 for 100 pounds. I mean, it was the highest priced meat there was. You would kill deer to make buckskin. You would kill bear for meat. If you were served meat in St. Louis 150 years ago, there's a good chance it was black bear.
Wow.
Wow. And it was wonderful. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
delicious.
I think a black bear meat ravioli with a nice little sauce reduction.
I was going with a stew, just
Yeah.
kind of an outdoorsy.
I get why you want to stew because you want to low and slow it, and you want to just let it break down a
sit
little bit.
outside in the autumn weather, and
You guys are missing the bear burgers.
I want a bear burger.
Bear burger.
Yeah, what are you going to grind some up?
I'll grind some, yeah.
Oh God, I want a bear burger now.
The other thing is you've got to pack out the fat because the fat.
You need the fat.
You render it down to make bear
Yeah,
grease.
you got to have the fat.
What do you do with bear grease?
You cook bacon in it.
No, you make pies.
You make pies with bear grease. Of course you do.
Yeah, I
Your
know.
great-great-great-grandmother knew this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to break this out. I'm going to have to get grandma out of retirement here so I can.
Wow.
Are you going to make a pie? You're going to get her to make a pie with bear grease?
I'm not making one. I'll have her make
So
one.
no butter, bear grease,
Bear
and
grease.
flour.
Instead of
Instead of
you
like
know,
Crisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, because I feel like you're going to get a meatier flavor or something coming out of it. I would love for you to make me a pot pie. Bear meat on the inside.
Like a bear minced pie. Yeah.
Yeah, and then bear grease.
Bear.
Brody and I have already talked.
Pie.
Why did we sing it? It felt right. I don't know why
Because
we
there's a
did it.
comedian that goes chicken pot, chicken pot pie.
We've already talked, Brody and I. If we get one, either of us get one the first day or whenever, we're going to render some bear fat right there. Like we're going to render it on the fire.
You're going to start a fire.
I'm going to
And dice some
I'm gonna
potatoes.
start a
Dice up
fire.
some potatoes. Throw some potatoes.
no,
on
no,
there.
you're just
I'm going.
rendering.
I'm
You're
gonna
turning it
render
into grease.
and then I'm going to fry some bear meat in bear fat right there,
You're going to eat like a shore lunch when you're fishing.
right there.
All right.
You're eating bear meat on the spot you took a black
Yeah, it's
bear.
going to be sitting there looking at me.
How
All right.
many man points? And does he get like a badge for this? Is like, what does he get? I mean,
Well, a badge would be like Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that. He gets a tattoo. He's going to get big fat ink that just says bear right there on it.
are you keeping the claws?
It'll be on the rug.
Dude,
keep it on the
because that's
rug.
how you shred pulled pork moving forward. You
Right.
just take the
Absolutely.
actual bear claws and you're like,
We can bring it in for when we do the ham.
How big is a bear claw? Size of my pointer finger?
It's pretty large. I mean, depending on the size of the bear, of course.
So here's what I'm telling
Look, I'm
J-Mac
coming
right
at you.
now. I want to be here for this stuff, and in exchange, I'm going to bring in Smoke Wagon bourbon that's only available in 11 states. This is not one of them.
Okay.
And I have a beautiful, uncut, unfiltered Smoke Wagon bottle that we'll crack open for the bear festivities.
Perfect.
See, there you go.
Is the smaller print here a cub?
It'll be a front and a back.
Oh,
They're like a hot rod. They got
And
smaller wheels up front and
they
big fat
will-
wheels up back.
And,
Yeah.
and they'll have an arch. If you notice, there's an arch in that foot. You can tell a left foot from a right foot.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we've already been on track and scat, so.
and that's bear shit right there.
Yeah, track and scat.
You got to just look at that
let me
thing
see.
and just check it out.
Oh my God.
And it's kind of weird. You made it very real for me to look at that paw.
Can I show this?
I mean,
Can I have this?
it's called a paw, right? It's a paw.
Look at.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man.
You lost your light on it. I think it went dim.
No, that's all right. You can still see it.
There
it is.
It really made it very real seeing that. I don't know why.
Wow. That's amazing.
Like it's the old story with the monkey paw, the special curse.
So you put in for this permit back in like May, right, of this year, and then in July they pulled names.
March or April, but yeah, they pulled it.
And then they pulled it. So I mean, you just got a phone call one day. You got an email.
No, actually, one of my guys that works here in the parks department, Truman, he works Barnhouse. His roommate Brody is a friend that got it. He goes, man, Brody drew a tag, and I'm like, I didn't get an email. I'm like, oh, congratulations. Yeah. I'm like, I'll go with you just because I want to go.
You didn't get a date for the prom.
No, I did not get it. I didn't check my email, and I finally logged into the MDC app, and I was sitting on my couch going, holy crap, I drew Zone 3 too.
You got it.
So it wasn't like a radio contest like ours where it's like, hey, man, it's 107. You got 10 minutes and 7 seconds to call in right now, and you're going to get your bear tag. It's like it was there for you.
It's like 11:30 at night. My wife was super happy when I called her and told her.
Can you imagine how radio would really screw up something like that?
Yeah.
All right, give us 3 tags.
Yeah.
And we're going to have people hold on. They've got to put on a bear suit and stand out in the traffic one day and ask me about my tag.
The most honks wins.
Yeah, you got to make it across 70.
Yeah. In a bear suit.
Well, that's usually called Frogger, but we'll take it in a bear suit.
We'll call it bearer. This is exciting for you. It's also exciting for somebody else down the road because one of the outfitters nearby decided to hook you up. Can I bring that up?
Absolutely.
Because I did.
Wait, you're getting some swag?
He got some swag.
Bear hunting swag?
Yeah.
I actually ran into the guys at the Man Show. We had a booth at the Man Show from American Harley Davidson. And the guys from American Outdoor Brands was right behind us. We went over, started talking hunting. They found out I had a tag. And they contacted me last week about some gear. I went down yesterday, and they just started loading up the back of my Tahoe.
Wow, like infrared bear goggles and stuff like that?
4 trail cameras, blind, chairs, tripods,
everything.
Wow.
They must have already sensed that you are a very educated, serious outdoorsman.
Yeah.
Because there could be a lot of people who could apply for this because they're like, hey, Jethro, we're going to get a crossbow and go kill us a black bear. And maybe they don't care about anything.
I pretty much go 100% in anything I do.
Yeah. So they must know that. So they just started shoveling it all over to you.
It was crazy. Just pull up out front. Here it is.
Now, what if you and Brody both get a bear on the same day and you got to haul out 700 pounds of bear?
It'll be the best day ever.
Wow.
Best day. You could call the 2 of us.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying we'll make it,
No.
but
You'll come eat the gall.
Dude, I work in Jeff City.
Yeah.
I'll be at work on Monday. You just call me. I'll be over there quick.
I want to know what bear fat frying bear meat in it smells like. I want to know how delicious that smells.
I think you got to put a little bear meat in there, but I think dice off a couple potatoes to kind of go with it, soak that up, fry it up a little bit.
Yeah, onion maybe in there.
A little onion.
A little roast.
Fresh garlic. Sounds
Little
like a Bugs
thyme.
Bunny cartoon. All of a sudden he's got carrots and onions.
Yeah,
just
but he
going
was the
down.
one that was.
He was in the pot.
What's up, Doc? Things smell good. Yeah,
that smelled delicious.
That's going to be amazing. Now, if you don't get it the first day and no one else does in your area, or they at least haven't filled all their tags, you'll be back out there the second day.
I have 3 days booked so far.
But it's a 10-day window, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking that 3 days and it's going to be done.
Yeah, because you only got 5 people are going to score, and then everybody else is out.
And Brody and I have talked about that because we're 40% of the bears that can be taken in Zone 3 if we each get one.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
How are you guys positioning yourselves? Will you be looking at the same spot, or are you going to do 2 separate areas?
We're going to make a judge on that on Sunday when we get down. So the person nice enough to let us use their land is a friend of a friend.
Well, okay, so that's a question now. So the zones are there, but it's not a free-for-all, man. You can't just go on somebody's property because they live in the zone.
I was scouting heavily. I'm a big public land hunter.
Okay.
I enjoy the challenge, and that's what we do when we go out west. We'll public land hunt. But I had mentioned to one of my friends that works for a land selling group that specializes in whitetail hunting properties. And I said, hey, if you hear of anyone, because this is the zone, let me know. I get a text from him, and he goes, hey, I got a buddy, got a bunch of bears on camera. Let's put you in contact with him. So he goes, I've got 500 acres, got a bunch of bear. He goes, and I didn't even think to put in for a tag. He goes, so I'd like to get rid of them.
Just for the hell of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're not causing any damage, are they?
They can scare off the deer, and so
Sure.
he is a deer
Oh,
hunter.
that's
okay, so if he owns land and a bear comes on your land, you can't shoot a bear on your own land.
It's not.
You could shoot an
it's-
intruder, but you can't shoot a bear.
You can shoot a bear if it's threatening you.
It would be yes.
You've got to prove it though.
You would have to prove it. So if you saw the mountain lion that the guy videoed and he shot the mountain lion, that would be a.
Well, mountain lions deserve to get shot. Let's just be honest. We all know that. I mean, come on. That's.
But you would have to prove that it was trying to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, which means it already has to be used to humans and
Right.
wanting the trash cans and the food.
Right.
Raiding
Now,
houses and everything
do you have to give like 10% of the meat to the guy? Is there a little exchange for
He
being on the
hasn't,
land?
he hasn't asked for anything.
Maybe one of the claws.
I'm gonna take care of him, though.
Well,
I
of course
promise
you
you.
will.
God,
It's
it's exciting.
super nice to let him have us do it, and I mean,
Dude, how jacked are you right now? You're Monday, right? Today is Wednesday as we tape this. Monday, you're going up against a black bear.
yeah, I got a countdown on my phone for how many hours.
God,
Like my Tahoe's loaded. It is ready to go
is
right
it
now.
really already?
It's setting out back, ready to go.
Well, don't tell people that.
No,
Put
guns
that.
on it.
Put
No,
that
but
in the garage.
that's amazing.
But my cooler rack, everything's ready to go. It's on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
There's somebody in Arkansas that you got hooked up with that does some sort of a magazine.
It's Clay Newcomb. He actually owns. He runs the Bear Grease podcast. So
Bear Grease podcast.
That's how good Bear Grease is. They do a podcast.
I have a
just
hat
about
that says Bear Grease. It's from him.
Once again, uncut, unfiltered smoke wagon. It's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So this guy reached out to you, and you're picking his brain for
No,
everything he knows.
I reached out to Clay.
He reached out. You
I
reached out to
reached out to him.
But you're picking his brain. He's telling you everything he knows about bear hunting.
He is very helpful.
He's the Martha Stewart of bear hunting.
I actually sent him the pictures of the bear we've seen so he can help me judge age and sex onto him.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
he's been amazing.
So
to
have you
help.
scouted the property that you're going to? Does he have trail cams up already?
Yes.
So you've sort of been doing some
I have
reconnaissance.
not stepped foot on the property.
But you've done reconnaissance on the cameras.
All of his cameras are cell phone, so we don't have to step foot onto it.
Beautiful.
So it notifies you so that you don't have to go in.
And something else, too, that is interesting. With deer and other animals in the state, and probably in a lot of states, baiting is illegal. Not with all, but baiting is generally illegal with a lot of hunting out there.
10 days before season, you have to pull bait.
You got to pull the bait.
And that's on deer or anything.
So you can't just throw a box of jelly donuts out there
No,
the night before.
and personally, I'm not interested in those kind of hunts.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
hunts where you can hunt bear over bait. That's not me. I don't want to do that.
And we do have our bear trapper who works for MDC.
Uses donuts.
And now I think it's with a federal program. They do use donuts.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But all they're doing is trapping the bear, tagging it, taking all of its vital information.
They shoot him in the ass. They take some info and then they let him go.
And then they let him go.
All he knows is that he fell asleep eating a donut.
And they use day-old donuts.
Of course they do.
And to get that whole thing done. What do you think the bears that you've seen in the trail cams, what are they foraging for?
White oak acorns.
White oak
that's-
acorns.
That's their favorite food.
That's how they're going to fatten up for the winter?
So they're not carnivorous per se.
They will eat a little bit of everything, but their favorite food is white oak acorns.
White oak acorns.
20,000 calories a day right now is what they got to eat.
How many calories are in an acorn?
8.
Oh my god.
So if you do the math on a pound of acorn has between 40 to 80 acorns into it. So if you do the math on averaging 60, they're eating about 48 pounds of acorns a day.
Where the hell are you finding 48 pounds of acorns for this
Well,
many bears?
That's
so a
the
bear
thing
would
about it.
have to find.
It's got to travel.
And the white oak, they don't all drop their acorns the same year. So you got to find one that drops it this year,
Right.
and hopefully it's a good harvest, and then eat your ass off around that tree.
They will eat other acorns, and they'll eat corn, like standing corn. But if they had to pick, it's white oak acorns.
Now, the interesting thing is where the bears are going to get these acorns is also the white oak that is being sold to Kentucky to distillers to make white oak American barrels for whiskey.
Are you trying to say there's some sort of a
I like
conspiracy theory
I like
going
tying
on?
this back in together.
I'm tying it back
It'll go
in.
with that bourbon.
It's going to go.
All
When we
the
enjoy
way.
the smoke wagon, it's because the black bear ate the white oak acorns, which led us to the beautiful white oak trees that created the white oak American barrels for the delicious whiskey.
It all
Circle
comes
of
back
life.
around. Let me ask you this. As a hunter, when you're looking at an animal as a deer, its eyes are positioned toward the outside of its head. A black bear, it's a hunter. It's positioned more toward the front. That's going to change up whether or not it sees you if you're checking it out and scoping it down.
It'll smell me before it hears me. before it
Really?
sees me.
So what do? You got a little bear pee on you or something?
There's nothing that'll work. I mean, Clay told me, he goes, there's no point in using scent killer. You will not trick a bear.
So you just got to pray or get yourself positioned.
play the wind.
The wind.
Play
the wind.
It's all the wind.
So you want the wind in your face the entire time.
If you, let's say the wind is coming across the bear toward you, and he's just or she is just slightly off, and they're working on some white acorns or a big old corn on the cob, right? they're not going to see you like a deer can.
He did say that whenever they're eating acorns, when their head's down, you could pretty much walk up on them.
Yeah, because I'm picturing
Okay.
they're just munching away, crunching on that thing.
They're just looking for calories.
And they're also not as fearful as other animals.
No, they have not. They've never been hunted here. They have.
You
nothing
walk
to
up
fear.
on a bear like that, they're going to see how big your balls are, and that's going to be the thing that
Yeah.
triggers them. Jeez Louise.
But they don't have. There's not some bigger predator they're aware of. They're the king. They're the king shit of the block.
There was a study. I mean, you can't hunt in Yellowstone, right? So you can't hunt in Yellowstone. There was a study that said if you allowed hunting, because the animals aren't scared of anyone. Elk walk right up to the bathrooms at the rest centers.
Yeah. Right.
If you hunted them in 2 years, they'd be back to wild.
Wow.
They would know that that's danger.
Yeah, and probably more fierce when they would see you also. They'd flight or fight.
You're not going to see them. They're going to.
Yeah. That's wild.
I believe
So-
that's called familiarity breeds contempt.
That might be the whole thing. Okay, so you have my number. Are you going to hit me up if
Yeah.
you score one? I want to know that day.
I'll text you right then.
And then sooner than later, we want to eat some bear.
Well,
I'm glad you feel the
already,
same way.
I've already made the deal, and now he has my cell
Oh,
number.
perfect.
And so I'm getting a phone call as well.
Yeah.
I'll do a group text.
By the way, I also have Mizzou tickets. I'm
Okay,
just
cool.
telling you right now.
I've got beer. I've got a vacation home in the. No, this is really exciting. Have you talked to some people that are like real grossed out by the idea of eating bear? Anybody?
No. Oh, my wife's not going to eat it, I'm sure.
She will not eat.
No,
it.
she doesn't eat a lot of it. Now, my youngest daughter, she'll eat anything I put in a crock pot.
So she's ready for it. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bring home some bear.
Oh, don't
Daddy."
even tell him it's bear. Just, this chili's amazing.
It's funny you say that. I had a friend that went Dall sheep hunting in Alaska, and crazy big hunt I'd love to do, and gave me some of the meat. I mean, you got to pack it back out, fly it out of there in a
Right.
bush plane. So I made some stew with it, potatoes, carrots, right? And my daughter Kimber ate it, and she goes, "What is that?" I said, "It's Dall sheep." And I pulled up a picture. She goes, "That thing's ugly, but it's good."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's how old is she?
she's 15.
Yeah.
She'll be
Ugly,
15.
ugly usually tastes better.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
Like
the
a
way.
big boar, ugly as hell, tastes
Is-
delicious.
How does the smell of the raw bear when you open it up? Is it when you hit that gut sack? It's going to be just like a deer. It's going to
It'll be
smell
just like acorns. Yeah.
to a high.
Like acorns.
Yeah,
It'll smell like
it'll
acorn
a deer.
shit.
Yeah, just like a deer. Whenever you cut one open, you do really good, and you don't cut it open like that.
What are you going to do?
You don't nick the gut.
Yeah,
Right.
Take it out as a full sack that falls
And then you
out.
got to hang it. You got to hang this bear up so it can drain and all that stuff.
There, you can't hang up a 350-pound bear.
I'm asking the question. I've never done it
I'm
before.
probably going to quarter it. The plan would be if we get one down, please get one
Quarter
down.
it. What does that mean? You're bringing a chainsaw?
No, I will.
saw that in Animal House.
You'll be
They got the
sawing
horse
it.
I'll lay it on its back.
Yeah.
And I'll make an incision, cut down the arms, going from here, cut down, and
Yeah.
then skin it.
Sure.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, don't mess up the skin, and
Right.
then from there I'll break it into 4 pieces.
Wow.
And the 4 pieces then I can pack out.
What do you
or
carry?
put-
A big bone saw or something? What do you carry?
No, you can do it with a knife.
So you'll generally leave the spine. Do they have back straps?
Yeah.
So
And-
you'll
and
take the
everything.
back straps and you'll leave the spine.
Yeah, I'll
with the gut pile.
I'll cut the meat off the ribs. I'll save everything.
Right, and then the quarters that you take out, you're not actually like processing them. So you're taking them out. They're going probably in a bag,
Yeah, put them in a game bag, then put them in a cooler.
which
Ice
is like a
them down.
netting bag that allows air to come through, allows it to keep cooling
Now, are you
off.
going in on a gator or something?
No, I'll walk in.
So you got to haul all of this out.
This is nothing. I did 50 pounds in New Mexico, 8 days up in the mountains.
Good God.
Yeah.
And you said you've got a cart.
Yeah, I got a cart.
Now,
I actually just bought that. I've never even used
I've
one.
been on public land in Missouri that's a wilderness area. Wheeled conveyance is not allowed at all
Can't.
unless you're an authority.
Then you got to pack them out.
And then we got to backpack it
But
out.
my backpack's set to pack 150 pounds of meat on it.
Have you looked to see if there's any hills you got to work in or out
Yeah.
with this thing?
That's why we have not stepped foot on this property, but we scouted a bunch of public land around it.
Uh-huh.
So that way we could get familiar with the area,
Sure.
lay of the trees,
Wow.
underbrush.
Do bears care if it's rocky, hilly? You said they like the woods.
And they'll be in a tree.
And they'll be in a tree.
And the MDC specifically said that we can shoot them out of a tree.
Deer don't climb trees.
Hold on. I know that bears can climb trees. Okay, I'm not stupid. But they're just hanging out in the
They will,
trees.
if the acorns haven't fallen, they will climb and eat the acorns off the tree.
So a bear could theoretically slip and fall on you.
Yes.
You could be killed by a black bear by it falling while it's eating.
Put that on my tombstone.
Wow.
While you were hunting
Yeah,
it, by the
absolutely,
way,
that'd be great.
would be something as
Dude,
well.
I am in awe of all of this.
My wife thinks I'm crazy because like I want.
Well,
to
she
go,
knew that before the bear thing, dude. That's not new.
I want to go places where there's grizzly. I want to go places where
You want to hunt a grizzly?
I don't really care to hunt a grizzly. I'd rather hunt a black bear.
You
But
could go
you're-
visit
you
our
and me.
friends at Big Sky Brewing, perhaps.
I want to
Yeah.
be. I want to be in their area. I want to see it. And I don't want to see it at a zoo. I don't want to see it at a park.
Well, you don't see him in the zoo. All you see is a paw, and that's a dude with a stick on the other end. And every hour he goes like this. And
You
you go,
wanna-
oh my God, there's a bear.
You want to see the grizzly in its natural environment.
Yes. I want to be in the middle of it. I want to sleep in the middle of the woods in a tent in bear country.
Oh, he'll find you.
Well, yeah, I mean, wait a second, man. A grizzly could eat you. I mean, they could attack you and rip the hell out of you.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the rest of it? That was it, period. That's it.
Yeah.
Respond, sir.
There's a quote.
I'm like, I can't give you any more than that.
I'm a gearhead too. So there's a quote by David Freiberger, the editor of Hot Rod Magazine.
Love those guys.
And
They're the best.
It's at the end of his tour.
Roadkill's one of the best shows on television.
Actually,
let's be honest.
one of my friends is Mike Cotton from Finnegan.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Oh,
one of my
I
good
love
friends.
those guys.
So there's a quote by Freiberger, and it says, "And when I'm gone, you might consider me foolish, but hopefully not boring, for I will have lived."
Yeah.
So if something happens.
Oh, and they do.
I mean, we ride motorcycles. We drive cars. We fly
I
airplanes.
know.
You
I know. I don't want to live forever. I don't. And so I want to live
I don't
while
want to
I'm
be
living.
eaten by something else. That's not how I want to go. Alligator, bear. I don't want to be eaten.
Do you have a desire to go sleep in a swamp with alligators
No.
too? Okay.
I
I'm
don't.
Just checking.
I don't think I'm going to be lying on my deathbed when I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old right now, and I don't think I'm going to be lying on my deathbed going, "Man, I'm glad I didn't do that." My life changed about 6 years ago. My father was in a very bad car accident, almost killed him, and he had always wanted to go out west hunting, and he just never did it. And I realized that Dad, he's back to work, he's fine, but he's never going to be able to do it.
Right.
And that's what made me start going out west. I'm like, I'm going to go do this stuff while I can, because in an instant it could change and I couldn't do it.
He's got to appreciate you doing that.
Oh, he loves
He's got to be
he-
like, go
he-
do it, do
yeah.
it, do it, do it.
Oh, he loves it. I actually had a book printed of mine and my friend Aaron's sheep hunt. Walgreens does books, and I bought him one so he can put it on his desk.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I've never regretted anything I've done. My wife is super easy, and she's.
Well, she doesn't like you saying it like that. Stop that.
I would say,
Jeez.
I would say she's understanding on letting me do it, but I book time for family and I book time for what she wants to do.
Sure.
And then she knows she loves this time of the year because I can't say no to anything she wants to buy.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause you got your own thing going on.
We both get that. Listen, we ride motorcycles. I have a bourbon addiction, all that kind of fun stuff. I get that, and I get the idea of, listen, I like to drive fast. I like to ride fast. Being out and around grizzlies, once again, I don't want to be eaten. That's not how I want to go out. I'll go out at 200 miles an hour. I don't want to go out as food.
I'm this close to liking your idea. I just want the magic wand. I want Mr. Wizard. I want to be able to call Mr. Wizard at the last moment and be like, get me out of here.
Get me out of
No.
And a helicopter takes me out.
I'll tell you how you do it. And Golick told me this story. So
Yeah.
Mike Golick went on safari in South Africa with family and some friends, and it was through a travel company that was part of the Four Seasons, right? Because it's Golick.
Right,
You got money.
right.
This is how you do it. So they go out into the land, into the brush, and there's lions, and they're probably 30 yards away, and it's like great. And the guy that's running this thing goes, it's time to go. And he's like, oh, just another minute. He goes, no. It's time to go. And as they go back to the vehicles, what they don't realize is that in a gigantic circle out in the brush were guys with AR-15s that were protecting them the entire time.
Yeah.
There's like 15 guys in a circle around them. They had no clue. Maybe if that's the case, I'll go do it. But let me remind you, don't want to be food.
Well, some of these guys who have gone out to like grizzlies, and they go around there with the grizzlies eating in the the streams or grabbing salmon and stuff. And these guys are getting really close, and then they wind up getting killed out there. Was there a guy called Grizzly Man or whatever?
Yeah, there was a photographer that was killed, a grizzly photographer that was killed, and he was still taking pictures of the bear at 25 yards.
While he was being eaten.
No, the bear was charging him. He was still taking pictures.
What
Jesus,
is
that's ridiculous.
what you got a text that came through?
Yeah, let me see.
Uh-oh.
So someone loves you, and I'm not going to go into that. What am I looking at in this picture?
That is an elk.
Is that a female elk?
It's a young calf.
Young
A
calf.
female elk, I believe, is called a felk. Am I wrong?
I actually found that amusing.
So this one was laying down, and
Okay, now listen. Can I show this?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't scare me.
no,
It doesn't scare me.
They could still run over you and beat the hell
No,
out
I
of you.
get that, but they're not going
that's
to.
a very small one.
They're not going to eat me. They're not going to take a gigantic, sharp paw with claws and gut my insides
And slurp
and
it up.
slurp it up in front of me because I won't be dead yet.
Yeah.
A large grizzly bear on a fog neck, like Alaska has the largest brown bear population of the size, it can kill a moose with one hit.
With its swipe.
With a hit.
You, sir, are no moose.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
Wow.
the stuff.
I think a grizzly would swing at me and miss. Come here, you little bastard. Come here. And
So
I
if
just
you
keep
and I go out, you don't have to be faster than the bear, as they say. You only have to be faster
you.
than me.
Just faster than you.
So my friend I
all
went
it
sheep
is.
hunting with, he's 6'4". He actually runs another Harley dealership, and he is very paranoid. His name's Aaron. So
Did you say paranoid?
yeah, he's paranoid.
Paranoid.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Once again, doesn't want to be eaten.
yeah. And I'm like, I said, all I got to do is outrun you. I ain't
Yeah.
got anything else.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it, all the
But
way through.
we were in the open desert. There's really not a lot that you can.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is really a lie, because what happens is the bear eats him first and then tracks you down and eats
Absolutely,
you too. So
yeah.
it's, you're kind of,
I like how you're building the whole scenario. Here's what happens. The bear eats him. How much can a bear eat out of a man?
I don't know.
60 pounds of acorns, whatever that equals inside of your body.
They'll eat away, and they're like, this isn't any good acorn. I'm going after the faster guy now.
right.
I mean, we're considering. I mean, yes, can black bear kill a human? Yes. Are you looking at a large number of them? No. I mean, there was one killed in Colorado this year. It is nothing even on my radar of being scared of.
Well,
So
I will
much
tell
I'm not
you-
even bringing a handgun or a bear spray.
No, a black bear.
Really?
It's got a gun. It's a black bear.
Normally, if I was going
Yeah,
into,
but a long rifle and a bear charging around at you is no match. It really
I
isn't.
mean, I specifically bought a Glock 10 millimeter, Glock 29 for when I go to Alaska or somewhere for bear protection.
but you're not taking it with you. Take it with you.
Yeah, do us
Do
a
for us.
favor.
Do
Come
it
on.
for us.
You know.
We're friends.
Listen, you got a slot. Just put it in
I'm,
there.
I'm
Just
like
come
your
on.
Jewish grandmother.
Because
It's a
here's the
bear. Take a gun.
Because
what
here's
do
the-
you want? Take a
Because
gun.
selfishly, here's the problem. You're going to bag a bear, and
Yes.
another bear is going to take you out, and we will never get the meat.
We don't get the meat.
Brody was
And we don't get the follow-up show.
Correct.
I'm really pissed.
Correct. So,
Brody was
so
contemplating
take the gun.
He was
the
gonna,
gun.
He was going to take a bow.
Oh, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What do you shoot, by the way? Where are you shooting on the bear? What are you aiming for?
So it's a little different than there's a anatomy. You want to go when the bear's foot steps forward. You want to tuck it in a little farther forward. The anatomy is a
Little
little different. than a
tickle
bear.
spot
Yeah.
right
so,
in there.
so when it's charging you, and you're trying to figure out, do I have this in my crossbow? And I got to aim for this. You're dead.
Can you shoot it in the head?
I won't.
Can you shoot it in the chest?
Yeah.
Will you kill it in the chest?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So the
what-
side shot with it reaching forward with its foreleg.
So when you look at it, this leg's going to curve back a little more than the scapula would on a deer. So
Uh-huh.
you want to wait for that foot to step forward.
when the foot steps forward, then you're
Right.
putting it in right behind it.
Yeah. Put it in the bread bag.
You'll
No.
be scoped. You'll be on scope
yeah.
on this thing. And what size of a round are you shooting?
So several years ago, I knew I wanted to do this. I knew I wanted to go hunt, so I bought a 338 Win Mag. So
All for this, and you could have gone years without drawing this tag.
there wasn't even black bear talked about it. I knew I was going to Alaska.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere to hunt. So I bought a 338 Win Mag, and I'm shooting 230 grain bullets out of it.
Let me ask you this thing too, and we're almost finished up. And how was the beer, guys?
It was excellent.
Loaded for Bear. It's the Summer Honey Seasonal Ale featuring a bear on the can, which we gotta love.
It's a bear in a 1920s swimming outfit.
And that is Big Sky Brewing out of Montana. And
If you find me one of those swimming suits, I will. If I shoot a bear, I will dress it in it before I field dress it.
I would appreciate that.
I
and
would
that's-
prefer if you stood next to the bear in the
that?
swimming suit. Yes, that would be great.
I want the picture of you, the gun, the swimming suit. It's Missoula, Montana, and that's available all over the United States. Okay, a deer goes down, you don't know that it's dead. And I heard somebody say, let's say you're bow hunting, walk up with your bow, ready to draw, and now people that don't like to hunt don't want to hear this. Take the tip of another arrow and put it in its eye and see if it moves at all.
you're gonna-
And number one, I would never do that with it in a bow. I'm getting ready to have some bad thing happen. So if I want to go up with the arrow out and not knocked in the bowstring and try that. With a gun, you can just take the gun and put it on. What will you do with a bear as you walk up on it once you've shot it?
I'll give it 45 minutes from the time the shot happens, even if I see it go down. So the best with my years of experience onto it, I will let it go down, and it's better not to bump it. So I want to do my job, make a good shot, Hopefully it crashes. You see it 50 yards away go down, and then you let it bleed out for 45 minutes.
So it's not like Monty Python. Are you dead yet?
No.
Hello, bear. Are you dead yet?
But if you came up on it and let's say it's wounded and a little freaked out,
I'll put
for
it
a
down.
second. No. And you walked up and you weren't paying attention. It could suddenly look and be like, "Arr," and then be pissed. What? You don't like my bear impersonation?
Not when I'm trying to take a drink.
But the same thing can happen with a deer.
Sorry.
A deer could come up and charge you as well.
If a deer with a full rack got up and then it started to paw at you with those hooves, you'd be in a hospital.
It is. I tell my daughter this. My youngest daughter's a hunter. She loves turkey hunting. Mm-hmm. And I tell her whenever we're shooting her gun, I'm like, we don't hate the turkeys, we love the turkeys.
Right.
So our job is to kill this animal clean, ethically, and do it. It is not about bragging, and that's not what it's about. I said with this one on the radio show, I'm 40 years old. I've been hunting since I was 13, so 27 years. I have never killed an animal that I haven't apologized to.
Right.
It's just I take it serious.
And for some, it's a spiritual thing.
It is for you.
And this animal is giving back to you. It's sacrificing to you, to whether it's feeding your family or you're going to use the skin to keep yourself warm or whatever.
The memory of it, but no one thinks about that when they go buy a steak at Walmart.
No, never.
They don't look at I was.
I didn't have to hunt that. That's the whole thing.
That thing had a name. It wanted to live too.
Yeah, and nothing against ranchers, because what they do, they're feeding the whole world. But the fact is if you can eat a steak, you shouldn't be afraid to maybe go out there and procure your own.
It is. My definition of a hypocrite should be someone who eats meat but is against hunting.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I agree with you. 100%.
I'm gonna hit the out on that one because I think that's a good one.
Well, this is lovely. So we need a follow-up show.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do a follow-up show regardless because I want to hear how
it's going to be failure or awesome. It's going to be if the season lasted 3 hours.
Yeah,
they called us and we're done.
We want to hear about it.
I'm sorry, I had a little issue with the audio for just a moment.
It is what it is.
It is what it is over here. J-Mac, I can't tell you that even without being involved with the show or anything else, obviously we'd be wishing you well. But damn it, you've got us so enthused about this thing.
I want the ham.
And we're living through you. And we want to eat, but we're living through you. Whether or not I ever hunt any bear, I want you to do really well. Bring us back some stories of some glory.
Absolutely.
I hope it's really good. I hope it's tasty also.
I know, right? Speaking of tasty,
enjoy this thing over here.
Summer honey, drinking a bear.
This has been a podcast story. Tom's World Beer Tour. For future episodes, download and subscribe where you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or send us an email at tomsworldbeertour@gmail.com. All content property of Tom's World Beer Tour, copyright 2021. No beer was harmed during this production. Only consumed.